Another day, another competition.
We're absolutely buzzing.
Welcome back to Fade Masters. In episode 1, we saw two talented barbers go head to head, and unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to one of them. If you haven't seen that episode, you can go back and catch up now. I'll wait. Now that we have 7 barbers left competing for the grand trophy, let's see who gets clipped next. Welcome, barbers. We saw some incredible cuts in episode 1. Do you think you have what it takes to raise the bar?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
You Gen Zers think you got what it takes?
Definitely. Oh yeah.
You know, when I was 19, I used to have a mustache just like that. Yeah.
Yo.
What do you think, Cody?
I'm still working on mine. So we have an amazing guest judge in for you today. Super excited for you guys to meet him. Today in this episode, we're gonna be judging on creativity and execution. We're gonna be super critical, so show us your best work. Now's your time to shine. Let's see a show here.
That's cool.
Now, do that cool cape thing you do. Today, you'll have the freedom to create something that's uniquely yours, as long as it's bold and polished. So keep it exciting, barbers. You'll have 40 minutes to bring your vision to life, and then after that, it's clippers down, judges in. Got it?
Let's go.
Awesome. Let's get cutting.
As a judge on Fade Masters, I'm taking that skill of paying attention to every minor detail and really looking at, like, is this someone I would recommend and bring with me on set? Is this someone I could throw in with an A-list celebrity and they're gonna be happy and say, Cody, thanks for hooking me up. So I'm really paying attention to the small details. We're really gonna rip it apart and just kind of break it down from the top bottom.
So Marco, how are you feeling about
I'm feeling so good, feeling so confident. Been excited for like past month, you know, just been waiting, thinking about this day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's that young buck energy.
Yeah, for sure. I've been waiting for this day.
And do you normally cut longer hair?
Yeah, I usually do, like, to this style is gonna be an undercut.
And how are you feeling about all this?
I'm excited to see what he does.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your relationship to the model?
So she came into the barber shop and we talked and I gave her a haircut and we got along really well. We're both First Nations and we just got along and I said, hey, let's do this competition if you wanted to be my model. And she was more than happy to. So. I'm Marco Lacert. I am from Algatro First Nations. I am 18 years old and I want to be able to inspire others and I want others to see what I'm doing at such a young age.
So Mekai, you've been cutting hair for 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years now.
Wow, and you're only 19.
Yeah, I'm about to be 19 in December.
How did you start at the age of 15? That's crazy.
Watched a lot of YouTube actually, and yeah, just got inspired off YouTube. Knew I needed to get a job sometime around 14, 15, so picked it up and just learned off YouTube basically, yeah.
Good for you. Do you think YouTube has prepared you for today?
For sure, yeah. YouTube, along with a lot of hours, blood, sweat, and tears. But yeah, I'm ready for today for sure. Been waiting for a while.
And how are you feeling about today? Nice. Yeah, you already look very sharp, so I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's done.
My name is Mekai Baker. I'm better known as Baker Blends, and I'm an 18-year-old barber from Surrey. I've been cutting hair for 4 years, and I've been in my garage with 2 other employees for the last year.
While they're busy cutting and styling, let's take a moment to go meet our special guest judge.
I want to introduce you all to another legendary barber from Vancouver, Marvin Soriano. Marv, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm 32 years old. I've been barbering for 19 years, and I have a shop called Knowledge Barbers. I specialize in more traditional haircuts, fades, comb-overs, undercuts, and hair design. The theme I chose to have at both locations is a basketball theme. So we chose this design to show more of our personality. I grew up playing and watching basketball my whole life. And to become a barber, I thought barbering and basketball went so well together. 19 years ago, I started cutting hair at my parents' place. And my mom actually used to cut our hair. So we had a pair of clippers. And in 8th grade, one of my best friends needed a haircut, and I just simply shaved his head, and it just began from there. Like, my friends would always come to my house, we'd always just hang out, play video games, and I think I fell in love with that a little more. So over the years, all I knew was just to keep cutting hair, keep building relationships, and keep getting better at my craft. But the goal was to have a shop and to have other barbers around me, because it was a little lonely doing it on my own in my parents' house. So to create a whole environment where I'm able to build with other barbers, that was what kept me going to what I'm doing now. As a judge on the show, I'm looking for confidence, control with their hands. I also like to see if a barber can bend the rules a little bit. What I don't want to see is rushing, where you're making mistakes too early, where you can't really adjust, and not being able to handle your clippers.
So after I graduated from high school, I was looking for a job. I knew that I wanted to be a barber, so I looked into some barber courses and programs, and I found Barber Academy. After I graduated, I talked to EHAB and the teachers. I told them, can you guys help me look for like a job, because I'm finding trouble? And they told me like, hey, just stick around here and you'll be a superstar, you know? Barbering has enabled me to be able to provide for my family, my wife and my daughter, and be able to spend time with them, and it means the world to me. Here I am, you know, like a year later, I'm gonna join a competition. I've done cuts for my community on my reserve, and I've done all of these great things, and I've already done so much in barbering.
When I was 14 years old, me and my best friend walked into this barbershop named Fresh Fades Barbershop, actually. It's located not too far by. And we walked in and we were hit with this sick vibe, sick music, bunch of young workers. So I could relate to the workers, and at the time, I was actually looking to get a job. Thought it'd be a dope job. So I started watching some YouTube videos and whatnot on how to cut hair and learning the craft, and it went from there, basically. I've been cutting hair for 4 years, and I've been in my garage with 2 other employees for the last year. It actually used to be like completely cluttered, to be honest. You could barely step foot in here. So it was just filled with my family's belongings and whatnot. Cleared it out, and now got it looking not too bad.
Thanks for stopping today, guys. This is Marv. He's our guest judge for the evening. He's gonna be breaking this down with me. We're gonna come, ask you guys some questions, check where you guys are at this stage, and then come back later and do our final judgment. Marco, let's see what you're working on here.
Why did you choose this haircut?
This design resonates with me a lot because I'm First Nation. She is also First Nation, my client, and I'm gonna be doing a dream catcher today. So it's gonna be a sick design. I'm gonna start fading from here. That will be like the ring in the middle, then I'll slowly start to fade down.
Have you ever attempted this design before?
No, never.
This is just
this
straight.
This is the first time trying, you know.
Just putting it all on the line. I like
100%.
that. Is there any challenges you think you might have going into this haircut that you're concerned about?
I'm worried about like what I'm gonna do with the area right here, like on the bottom. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there. Like maybe just fade it out or cut it, probably.
What tools are you gonna use?
Just the trimmers and my clippers right there. I'm gonna use the clippers. I might try a little bit of freehand, fade this one out, and then see where these ones take me. So recently, I took a trip out to my reserve in Bella Coola, and I was able to do a bunch of haircuts for the community. It means a lot to me, you know, to be able to provide like a service like that for my people. One of my close friends, came to me and he's like, dude, Marco, I've never seen the town so active and alive like this. Everyone's got fresh haircuts, everyone's looking good. And for me to be able to go out to my own community and do this for my community, it means a lot.
All right, Mekai, tell us what we got going on over here.
Yeah, so today we're doing a lower drop fade with the design, and I'm building a square shape at the top, textured it a bit.
How did you approach this haircut?
Yeah, so first I built the foundation and the shape, and now I just went in with my bald line, lever open, did the design, and now I just gotta blend it in, basically.
Is this a design you've done before, or this is a freestyle?
Not this exact design, no. Normally I'm doing designs on the tapers, but yeah, I really like designs on fades now, so trying it out today.
Is there any challenges you think on this specific style here that you think is gonna push you, that you might struggle with?
Yeah, probably maintaining some darkness with these designs here. Okay. And then also he just has some lighter spots up here.
Thanks for pointing out what to look for.
This is what everybody's getting right now?
A lot of people are getting tapers, but yeah, no, it's something a little different with the designs.
That broke the mold a bit.
Yeah.
Stepping outside of the taper box, I like it.
I started doing the street haircuts about a year ago. They're honestly the most fun to film because you just get to meet random people on the streets.
We're here at the White Rock Pier and we're gonna go fishing for some clients, film a street haircut like usual. How's it going, man? Good. My name is Mekai.
Hello.
I'm a barber, giving out free haircuts today.
Oh,
I'd love to give you one right now.
not now.
I'm giving out free haircuts today. You look like you need one.
I just had it 2 days ago.
Mekai, what's your name?
Shrimp.
Shrimp. I'm giving out free haircuts today and I'd love to give you one actually.
Let's do it.
You can just search me up on Instagram. Baker Blend. Pleasure, bro. Thank you.
So what do you think, Marv? What are we looking at here? What's the vibe you're getting from these guys right now?
I'm surprised that Marco just chose to do a design where Mekai actually chose to do a full haircut with a design. So I'm looking at that, and at the same time, I'm really looking at their approach.
Super technical with Marco. I feel like if he can pull it off though, it'll be crazy. The bulk level he had on the hair, like if he had way too much hair at that point for my liking, like because once you get in more intricate designs, you're gonna need like that. He had, what was that, like a number, like a large?
Yeah, like a 4 or something.
Yeah, it was too much. So, but once he knocks that down, we'll see. But if he keeps that length on there, I think it's gonna hurt him because you're gonna lose a lot of detail in that. What do you think about Mekai's?
Yeah, I like Mekai's approach. Like I saw that he set it up really well, and his guidelines are they're in the right spots. Creativity is yeah. I think they chose the right designs to.
I think they both did. Yeah, I think they're both super creative, super cool. Anything you think that they're gonna struggle with?
Mekai, I want to see how he styles the hair after. You know, it's a lot of length. I want to see him with a creative way of doing it because I know with that haircut it's very trendy right now. So we've seen it in multiple ways, and I'm very curious to see how he's gonna do it. With Marco, I'm like we said, his approach on the bulk of the hair, it might affect the way it comes out. It might not be as clean. So if he is really good with a straight razor, I would love to see how he uses it and how it ends up.
Whereas Mekai, he went a bit more simpler as far as like the design and stuff like that. It's a way more simplistic design, but now he has this extra time to kind of execute. So he might lose a little bit in creativity because he's just doing, you know, something a little bit less intricate, but he has that extra time where he can dial it in and really make sure those lines are crisp. So we'll see, man. I'm excited
I
to see.
agree with all those
Right.
points.
I want to bring out the artistic side of barbering, the proper way to do it, where I can prove to people and show people what barbering really is. I'm confident that when someone leaves my chair, they're feeling confident and happy, and all these things I've been doing this past year have bringing me a step closer. Every day, I feel closer. Every day, I feel my skill developing.
I think my main strength would be the blurriness in my blend. My scissor work can improve. So yeah, just when it comes to the shears, I believe I can learn more sectioning techniques. I like to just make sure my client looks good overall, to be honest. Maybe when it comes to the more like intricacies of the scissor work and the designs would probably be my weakness, but let's just hope. Let's just hope it all goes well.
All right, barbers, time's almost up. In 3, 2, 1, clippers down.
Today, I think it went really good. I was pretty confident in the beginning, a little nervous, but I knew I had a plan and I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with how it went today. I think it went perfect, went to plan, so feeling confident going into the judging, but we'll see what they say. I know they're gonna be tough today, so I'm nervous for that, but hopeful.
Do you think you're gonna win this competition?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna win for sure, 100%. Yeah. Excited for the next rounds.
I think I might win today. Yeah, I'm pretty confident, and I'm happy with what I did.
How was it meeting your competitor today?
Oh yeah, Mekai, he's such a cool dude. He's such a great barber. You know, he's got very good skills. Yeah, he was very competitive, and he definitely brought me to my limits and challenged me for sure today.
Yeah, meeting Marco was cool. He's a down-to-earth dude, so best of luck to him in his journey. Whatever happens today happens, but yeah.
So we got a couple of young bucks out here competing today. There's more and more of these younger guys coming into the barbering industry. You got any advice for these young guys stepping into a shop?
Yeah, I think they have to find a barbershop where they like the environment and surround themselves with more experienced barbers. Keep their head down, get as many reps as they can, and be fearless. That's the only way they can learn. All right, so we have Marco's model here, and he decided to do a design, the dream catcher. I thought it was really cool.
Super cool concept. Yeah. And I'll say right off the bat, one of the harder parts that he did fairly well on is the symmetry. It's actually fairly symmetrical. Sometimes these designs, it's hard to get that, keep things in proportion. I think he did a fairly good job at that.
Yeah, I noticed that. And I like that he did integrate like a fade with this design too.
Yep, he's got a little fade up here and then right down in these two parts. Personally, I think it could have used more. And being critical of it, I think this length here should have been brought down. I think it would have made it pop and made the lines a little sharper.
Right.
Considering how long the hair is, it's actually fairly sharp.
The one thing we brought up was his approach into the design. Like he started with a longer guard. It does make it harder to put your guidelines in. And if you're gonna continue with those lines, it's gonna be very hard to get into those like little areas. So I noticed that it could have been a lot cleaner on the lines here when he was using a straight edge. He did bring it down, but I think creating the first guidelines with that length is really tough.
Yeah, diving into, half-inch hair is when you're doing an intricate design is you're just making it more difficult for yourself in the long run. It's always best to do as little steps as you can, and so every move you do should be setting you up for the next step, right? Not hindering your next step. Make it easier, not harder. And I think in this case, he kind of shot himself in the foot a little bit with that.
When you're solely relying on your design and you're not doing anything else for a competition haircut, you got to be looking at every little piece of hair.
Thing,
so if I see something that isn't even from one side and the other, that will take points off for sure.
Yeah, so I noticed he kept the edges really good up at the top where her hair transitions into her longer hair. I see one of the biggest problems is barbers cutting in accidentally. And every time you come in, it might be 2, 3 hairs this time, 10 hairs that time, a little piece this time, but it adds up and that line gets pushed further and further up. And I'm noticing there's no long hairs on the ground here, so it looks like he did a pretty good job on that. So you've just seen the design for the first time. What are your thoughts on it?
I actually really like it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's only been cutting for a year.
A year or two as well.
It's a
So
solid, yeah.
with that in consideration too, he did pretty well.
Yeah. I see that he went in a couple of different directions here with the back. Like you can see he fluffed it up, he created the shape, and he kept a lot of the curls, which I really, really like.
I'm really digging the texture on top.
He did a drop fade and kept the corners really heavy at the front there by the hairline. The design came out really, really cool. Like, I like the creativeness to it. The fade is on point too. I actually really like how it just comes off the hairline.
The fade is super buttery. I really, really like that fade. I even like how he like notched in here.
Right. Yeah, just like right into
like
that.
subtly though. He didn't make it sharp. It's just kind of like subtly faded that you might even miss it, you know?
And the overall silhouette of the haircut,
Yeah,
it fits the head shape really well, which I really like. If it comes to anything he needs to work on, the design is very slim. I think it's hard for him to really take in that razor into it. So I don't think some of the lines here are as crisp as it could be.
A little
Yeah.
crisper in some spots, definitely. I think he's working in a really tight space there, and he's got a lot going on. But I like the heaviness here with the disconnect. But I find like this blend at the top here, if you come around on this side, it's a little bit rougher for my liking. Like I would like this a little bit. Like I still like the darkness and the disconnect, but I feel like this, especially even if you look from like right here, like this could have been, it wouldn't have taken any darkness away to kind of feather this out a little bit. That's my opinion.
Right, so it's just the finishing touches on these edges.
Yeah.
Where you could have used another technique, maybe like a clipper over comb.
Yeah, well, you just look at the density, right? Like from the darkness to the fade. And I see a lot of guys do that where they want that drastic dark fade, but you can achieve that without having this weight line here.
Yeah, I do see that he could have had these corners a little blended more a bit. It's a little choppy, but
I think that's the trouble area that he's having right now is like up here and same on the other side, because this is crazy.
Right.
Like that's
yeah, he definitely has his fade on point.
Yeah, that fade is on point. It's the weight line for me up here, which is the only issue. Like, it's kind of the only issue of the whole haircut at this point for me. Other than that, it's really dope. But I can see it mainly from this side.
Right, I can see that.
Right? Like it just looks heavy.
Yeah. Just a little bit of floss.
something-
Well, they only had an hour to
Just
do
break
this.
it up, yeah. So, yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, what do you think? You like it?
loved it.
Yeah? Have you seen it? You taking a good look at it? Yeah. Okay, first of all, I want to thank you both for coming here and participating and showing us your skills and what you got. We're looking for the best of the best.
Yeah, so for Mekai, I would work with thicker lines in certain areas just to give it more of a flow. When your lineups are too linear, you don't give enough room for your straight razor to go in there and make it as clean as you can. And with Marco, your design was amazing too. Like, it was very symmetrical. When you are focusing on just the design for a competition product, it puts more stress on how clean the lines have to be. So every little detail counts, especially if you're dealing with a symmetrical design. So I would say that in something you'd have to work on with your straight razor, you'd really have to look at every little detail when it comes to your product.
And I think we've came to a conclusion on who we think is the winner. And the winner of this episode of Fade Master is Mekai. Congratulations, Mekai. You killed it.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Okay, so how do you feel now that the competition is over and you won?
I feel good. It's a good start to the show, and yeah, I was honestly uncertain what was gonna happen there. They're pointing out a lot of stuff that I could have done better, but feels good.
I had a feeling that my competitor was gonna be a really good barber, and I was right. He is super talented, 4 years of barbering, and that's where I want to be when I'm at his level of experience. So
What are you gonna bring to the next round of competition? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, no, I know I'm gonna have to step up the plate actually. I went for something a bit safe on this round. I knew I could execute it well, but I'm gonna try to do something outside of the box with maybe some deep meaning to the cut.
I'm feeling I'll be a lot more confident with my skills and with what I want to do. And I think it'll be great. I'm excited for the future.
As always, it's sad to say goodbye to barbers, and Marco was one of the good ones. But he's got a bright future ahead of him, and we can't wait to see what's next. Join us in the next episode of Fade Masters for another exciting round of competition between barbers with amazing stories. Until then, stay out of hairy situations.